you don't understand unless you're in it, but that's just the way it needs to be. If I want to be a high achieving, sports person, if I want to be a high achieving athlete, boxer, a world champion, then
you need to be obsessed.
100%.
Dedication isn't enough. You got a message for him?
If he gets a bottle to fight me, I'm putting that to bed. I think they think that I'll be the one that's getting chinned. I'm coming to put him to sleep, and that's plain and simple.
Yes, we are back at it at the real life, and this week's guest, yes, I've got him. It's the nightmare, Nathaniel Collins. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, not too bad. Recovering.
How's life in general?
Aye, good. Just been chilling. Back to business. Back in the gym. Getting over my win and stuff. So
you in a good place?
In a good place, chilling. Just grafting away, mate. Doing what I need to do. Back to kind of normal life. I'm walking about and people are like, "Oh, how are you back in the gym? How are you working already and stuff?" Because they think the British is this big thing, and I'm just a normal guy. I'll always be a normal guy. So.
But you're just getting started, mate, aren't you? You're going to stamp your foot in this Featherweight division, aren't you?
Nah, just getting started. Not even 10% showing what I can do yet.
So the new British Featherweight champion, how does that feel?
Aye, it's good. I always said I'm not bothered too much about fighting for the British, and then it came about and it became a big deal, and I was right up for it and stuff. And now I've got it. I'm like, right, I've got it. What's next? Whereas I think loads of people get to this level and then they're like, "Oh, mate, that's me. Kind of made it and hit my ceiling." Or it's a brilliant achievement. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just looking at what's next now.
How high is your ceiling?
I think I'm going to be a world champion. I believe I'm going to be a world champion. So, the highest of highs.
Is all the hard work paying off, Nate? This is it. This is your time to shine. This is time to kick on. All the years of blood, sweat and tears to this moment. But, as I said, you're only getting started.
Yeah, it's been hard. It's been hard so far. I've sacrificed a lot. Any job I've ever worked, I've quit to put boxing first. I was at uni, college, stuff like that. I've quit, packed it in. With the sole focus of boxing, and I'm only just now getting to the point where I'm starting to reap the rewards, and I've always been ready. If you look back at old interviews, I said, I don't want to fight journeyman, I want to just dive right in. So I'm now getting my chance to dive right in and show people what I'm about. So
let's just talk about that victory of James Beats Jr., that crushing body shot that you finished off in the 7th round. What an execution, brother. Cracking shot.
It was funny because I was the last round 6. We had a bit of a stand in the middle and go to town on each other. I came back and Joe said to me, he's done. That was his last hurrah. Go out and just box him and you'll break him apart. And I did. I went out and boxed and I just touched him. I never even I felt like I didn't throw anything into the shot till I watch it back and it looks like I've bounced right into it. But it was just like a touch and flick for me and it was natural. And then the way he kind of moved back, looked at me. He basically ran to the other side of the ring, and I was thinking, because he never took a knee, and I was like, did I run over and hit him? What's going on here? And obviously took a knee by the time I'd worked out what was happening, and I was looking at Steve Gray, I was like, what's going on here? And he was like, just go to the corner. But it was quite all heavy quick for me. I was like, whoa, so it was weird.
Let's be honest, Steve Gray could have counted to 30. He was never getting back up.
I know, it's frustrating as well, because I was looking at him down, obviously I was paying attention to him, and then I seen his corner start walking up the steps with the towel, so I was like, and I think it went down as a TKO on Oxrec, and I'm like, that was a KO. He wasn't getting up after 10, and I was like, you didn't need to throw the towel in or wave it off or whatever. He was going to the 10 count, so I might need to appeal that.
Is that a shot you and Joe were working on for many years?
Aye, it's just a typical, it's your best southpaw shot. And the first time I ever met Joe, he was always saying southpaw, bolo shot, nice and long, arch it. You see the Cubans and stuff doing it. It was always like a big part of my kind of what I've been taught from even the amateurs and stuff. So you'll see me throw it. if you watch any footage back, you'll have seen me throw that shot all through my career.
I've heard in a couple of previous interviews just recently you've done one with IFL with Andy McCart. You've said in that interview you're 50 to 60% in that fight with James Beats Jr. What the hell are you going to be like at 100%?
Better than I was. I was disappointed. Not disappointed, sorry, that was the wrong word. I wasn't satisfied with my performance because...
But why? Some people say it's a world-class performance.
I know, and that's like, to me, that's amazing because I'm like, that wasn't a world-class performance for me. Like, you can watch back other fights. I was sharper, I was quicker, I moved my feet more. I didn't make as much mistakes. Did I feel more comfortable in that fight where I thought, I can just stand and go here? There's things that I learned there that I shouldn't have done that I did do. Even out with the fight, like, I was up in the morning at 6:30 in the morning. I didn't expect to be in the ring at 20 to 12 at night, you know what I mean? So
how did you find it? 'Cause that's you getting into new territory.
It was good. Like, it's just a learning experience for me, and I'm not above myself to think like I know it all, and I don't, even Joe's not above himself to think he knows it all. Like, we're just learning together. But it was just a different experience. Like, I was waiting and waiting, and it was dragging, and I was like, when am I getting in this ring? And we were already at 11:30 at night, you know what I mean? So it was wild. It was something different for me because I didn't sleep well. I woke up, I was singing, I was trying to get another nap, I never got there, this and that. And the next thing was happening, people were buzzing about, and I was too excited. So it was all just a learning experience. When I got in there, I didn't feel, 100% my best, and I could have felt better. And that was just my opinion personally. And when I came out, I said to Joe, like, I'm quite disappointed with that, and everyone was celebrating, obviously. And he was like, no, I know you could have done a million things. You could have took him out earlier than you did, and I could have.
But you got the job done in emphatic fashion. Do you feel it's your destiny to be a world champion?
For sure. Like, everything comes full circle, and I think, like, all my career I've been a good person. I've done the right things. I've stepped in the right places. I don't drink. I'll maybe have a one celebration after a fight. I don't do no bad stuff, I do my work, I go home, I look after my kid, spend time with my missus, spend time with my family. I'm not out doing nothing wild, So the world gives you what you give it, and the energy I'm putting out and the way I dedicate myself to this sport, I feel like it owes me something. So, and what it owes me is a world title.
With success comes sacrifice. You shouldn't sacrifice everything. How badly do you want this?
Mate, I've shown throughout my career, like, any step that I need to take, I'm willing to take it. Last fight there, I was surviving on a fiver. Like, I've got a new kid. I was having to pull favours and go into debt to try and get formula nappies, stuff like that, you know what I mean? So I'm willing to sacrifice everything to take it to that next level,
How hard were those times, mentally and emotionally?
It's draining, mate. It's hard. At the end of the day, I stopped in here in my gym and I said, I need a full camp. I can't work. I can't let anything distract me for this. And there's times when you're there and you're sitting, you've not got 2 pence to rub together, you've not got petrol in your car to get to the gym, and you're thinking, mate, I'm going to need to go back to work here. There's absolutely nothing left in my reserves. There's nothing I can do, and you need to push through that kind of bit and think you're only a couple of weeks away from securing this. You're only a couple of away from being in a nice, comfortable position where everybody's, chilling. And it's just thinking about the bigger picture in the future. If you're going to be a world champion, you need to go through the hardships to get to the good times. So,
do you feel those testing times will make you the man that you are today, inside and outside of the ring? When you can't afford things and that, you go and you look back and go, do you know what? I've fucking done it.
Aye. It's a weird one. Like, I'm a certain type of person. I'm not materialistic. I don't care that much about money. Obviously, I'd like to be more comfortable in the terms of, like,
money's nice.
100%, but I don't buy any nice clothes. I don't go on holidays. I've not been on a holiday in 5, 6, 7 years, you know what I mean? That's not what gets my gears going. That's not what thingy, like, being able to pay my bills, making sure my family's secure, that's the kind of thing that I like. So once I know that that's in place, I'll be very happy. Like, I like living a normal life. I like coming to the gym every day. I like meeting people. I like seeing new people, helping other people with their goals. So, like, I'm a very different person. Like, I'm not in it for nice fancy cars or watches or whatever, I'm I'm just there to secure my family's future. I know that in the long run that we can, sit back and chill. My missus doesn't need to work. That's what makes me go, like, if I can get my mum and dad's house paid off, that's things that tick my boxes, So
I like that about you, Nathaniel. You're a cool guy. You're very down to earth. You're patient. You're good composure. See the last few fights as a person, though. Do you feel that you're maturing as a fighter and you're learning every day on the job?
Yes and no. I think I'm the fighter I've always been. I'm learning each fight and I'm getting better each fight. I'm getting stronger. I'm getting quicker. I'm a bit wiser, but in terms of like the fundamentals and the base, like I've always been. I feel like not always been this good, but since I've turned pro, I've been ready to go. And something that I realised recently is when I first started, I was happy just putting a masterclass on people. Now I genuinely want to get people out of there. I genuinely want to hurt them. I genuinely want to take them out of there because that's what people want to see. And I've got the ability to do that. So
bums and seats in it.
That's it. I've got the ability to do it. And before it was all about hit and don't get hit. Put on the masterclass, Mayweather's one of my idols. Shakur Stevenson, and now one of my favourite fighters. These guys don't get hit and they put beatdowns on people, but you need that bit extra. Like, I want to not get hit, put beatdowns on people, and then I want to wipe them out. And that's the kind of level that I'm at, where I want to be breaking your spirit, and then I want to put you out of there.
You and I know you belong at world level. You're 12-0 now. You're making big moves in the game. Some people say you're one of British boxing's best kept secrets, but that ain't the case anymore, mate. You agree with
that? I don't know. It's a funny one. I think I'm probably still a secret to some people. Your proper boxing fans, your hardcore boxing fans know who I am. The guys in and about boxing, your promoters and stuff, they'll know who I am. They'll have heard my name. They'll have seen my stuff probably. But the other day I went to just Sam's show and I walked into the room and I had my belts and probably half of the people in the room couldn't have told you who I was. They probably didn't even know who I was till I got announced into the ring, things like that. So I'm looking to break through from boxing people knowing me to everybody knowing me, like household name, yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's the next goal.
You feel you're in the peak years of your career? You're 26, you're getting that man strength. You feel
that? Yeah, like I'm getting stronger each time. I've got great coaches. I've got Joe. I've just started doing a bit of strength and conditioning, a bit of extra work with a coach through in Dundee, Adam Lisby. So I'm getting stronger. I'm getting fitter. I've started to take my nutrition serious. Pete Bell, nutritionist for Newcastle, brought him on board. So I'm starting to realise like you can't do everything yourself. Joe is the main guy. He knows what he's talking about, but you also need this extra bit of support around about you, which I've been making the weight the easiest. I've made it recently. The strength conditioning, you could see the shape of me last time. I looked like a different man. I looked like I'd ate the old Nathaniel. So, I'm starting to become a guy for fully fledged featherweight. So
that division's a sizzling division, mate. It's got everything, cracking fighters, cracking characters. But for a case for you, it's big shows, big money, big exposure. But who's next?
Anybody that wants it. Obviously, we've got Conor Lopez coming up. I believe Mick will win that. And if he does, that's a fight that I'd like in the future. Obviously, I don't know what he's looking at. Robbie Ramirez just won the WBO featherweight title last night. That's somebody that I watched and I wasn't impressed with. Obviously, they two are both with Top Rank. Who knows if a unification's there for them? You've got Lara Wood. That's the names I'm looking at. I'm looking at them. You look at me on BoxRec, I'm number 7. Every single person above me is either a world champion or in that talk of world contention, you know what I mean? There's Wood, Warrington, Dogball, Ball. That's the kind of fights I want. You've got Jordan Gill above me, but he's moving up, I heard. So they're the names I want. I'm not looking at behind me anymore. It's these guys I'm pushing towards.
Pending Mick comes through that Lopez fight, which I think he will, is that a fight that would interest you 1 or 2 fights down the line?
100%. I'd take that next fight.
How'd you beat him?
Just clever boxing. I'm a tough character. I watched his fight against Wood. I thought it was a performance of a lifetime. I thought he'd done really well.
What did he do wrong, but? that you can capitalise on.
He
that
just
fight.
switched off. He just switches off. There's bits where he switches off. The hands are low. He's comfortable. He gets too comfortable, in my opinion, sometimes. You know, he's a high calibre boxer. There's no denying that. But I'm a high calibre boxer. I've only been coming on and learning. He's got quite a bit of time between his fights. I've been active for years, minus all the fiasco last year. And I'm looking to be active this year, 3-4 fights. So, I'm ready to come through and step up to that level.
That's a cracking fight style, and one I'd certainly pay for. Cracking fight. One guy I want to speak to you about, you touched on it, was Nick Bull. There's a lot of back and forth here and there with you and Nick. Every time Dave Sahani mentions, a interview with Nick, your name's always brought up. Is that a fight that interests you? I believe that's one of the best fights in British boxing to be made now, not 3 or 4 down the line. I'm talking now. I feel you're all wrong for this, man. How would you see that fight playing out if you and Nick done it?
I think I'd just box ahead off him, mate. I'm comfortable. I hit, I move, I create angles. I would confuse the life out of him. You know, this isn't me saying nothing. Like, Nick Bull's a dangerous guy. We know he can bang. We know he's explosive. But when it doesn't go their way, when it doesn't go like you seen the other week with Andrew Kane, it didn't go his way. You know, there's a guy there. If you can't take this guy out, what's your plan B? This guy's only got a plan A. It's come in and try and wreck him. And if that plan A doesn't work, what's your plan B? There's no plan B. I've got a plan A, B and C, you know. So I've boxed people like that around the world. I've been a highly decorated amateur, you know. That's styles I've seen. There's people I've fought. I can stand and go to war. I can box and move. So there's nothing that he presents that troubles me, in my opinion. And it's a fight I would take tomorrow again, you know. But it's a big fight. It is a big fight, and we have got beef. And, you know, it's one that needs to happen for something good. It needs to be a world title or a world title eliminator. Because I think after all the talk of, Nathaniel Collins is a backward step, we won't be fighting him, blah, 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 and all this smoke and mirrors about why we're not fighting. You know, the people know why we're not fighting.
Why is that then? Can you tell us?
He doesn't want it. Mm-hmm. They don't want it. I believe they don't want it. It's been brought up. You go and look on every Twitter comment. My name's brought up. Look at every internet name. My name's brought up. So it is what it is, and we will meet. We'll meet down the line. We'll meet at world title level, because that I'm not slating them. I think they will go on to compete for a world title. And I hope he wins it, because it's someday I'd love to take his world title right off him. You know what I mean? I think if he goes on and gets beat, I've got the British, I've got the belts. Now that's a step back for me. So unless it's for something big money, big titles, it's nothing's going to happen.
Stylistically, Nate, a lot of people on the circuit talk about you're all wrong for him. Would you agree with that?
Aye. You look at his last opponent, the dude for York Hall, upright guy, just standing there, trying to play along, no lateral movement, no nothing. He get caught clean. The guy he fought before, African, all over the place. That was a difficult night. Like, he was chasing, he was running. The big guy was all over the place, you know, he was moving. So it was hard for him to get to him. I'm like that. It's hard. It'll be hard for him to get to me. Isaac Lowe, without the Isaac Lowe turning his back situation, Isaac Lowe was actually starting to come on stronger. Mm-hmm. You could hear Nick Bull breathing a bit out his arse. So, you know.
What weaknesses do you see in Nick Bull? Because let's be honest, right, who's been me? Isaac Lowe. The other guys are the high calibre fighters. Isaac Lowe, you'd knock him out with a feint. Seriously, mate, I think you would bury him. Right?
Aye.
But what weaknesses do you see in Nick Bull that you can capitalise on?
Mate, I just don't believe in his hype or his power, so I don't think that's something that would faze me. I've got a good chin, so just like I said, what's his plan B? All he's got is that come forward style. Is he going to outbox me? No. If it starts getting tough, is he going to go with me? Maybe he'll go with me, but is he going to put me away? Absolutely not. No chance in a million years. You look at his record, he's became this bogeyman because he chinned Isaac Lowe. He's became this bogeyman because he chinned this mad Mexican guy who gave a week, like 3 days notice or whatever. So
he quit, didn't he?
Aye, but at the end of the day, before the Isaac Lowe fight, he was 16-0, 7 knockouts or 8 knockouts. That's my record now, 12-0, 6 knockouts. So am I afraid of that power? Not really. Am I afraid of him coming in and going to war? I'm fit as balls, so there's no chance that that's going to put any doubt in my mind.
Frank Warren's got a lot of expectation for him but I believe you're the party crasher. You take that?
Aye, mate, it is what it is. I know they've got a fight lined up. I've been hearing, so
I did know the guy IBF. He's ranked number 7 with IBF.
Aye,
They
so,
believe that fight's next time.
you know, they're pushing towards something. Like I said, they can go and do their thing. Go on your own path. I'll go on mine. Our worlds will collide. You know, it's the same as you look at the top level guys. Wood, Warrington, Conlon. You know, Wood went his way. Conlon went his way. The paths collided. Warrington's still in the mix a wee bit. He's trying to get in and get busy with it. So they guys, when you get to that top level, you're up there. You know what I mean?
You got a message for him?
Mate, I've said everything I need to say, and I just think it falls on deaf ears. They've got their own thing. If he gets a bottle to fight me, I'm putting that to bed. You know, I think they think that I'll be the one that's getting chinned. I'm coming to put him to sleep, and that's plain and simple.
Do you stop him early, late? Tell me.
I think I give him a systematic beat down, and I think he gets too much for him. Later on, he gasses, and he can't deal with my movement. He can't deal with my speed. I just start putting it, and the ref saves him. That's what I think.
Let's have it, eh?
Aye, 100%. Mate, same for the rest of them. Wood will stand there all day. He'll box long. He'll box tall. I'll box the nut off him. Same way Conlon did. Big shots. Put him on his arse, but I'll finish him. Mick Conlon, he'll try and outbox me. He'll try and go to work. You can't go to work with me. I'm too clever. So all the guys at top level, if you're watching or you hear this, I'm going to go through the whole division, and that's how I feel.
You're coming for it all, aren't you?
I'm coming for it all.
You visualise yourself in these big fights, the MSGs, the Las Vegas, the O2, bringing big fights back to Scotland with these big names, that you will be the draw.
100%. Nobody's doing it now. Nobody's doing it now for Scotland. You get myself, you get Lee McGregor. Obviously, he's been out for a bit. He's coming back now. Back onto the scene. Both of us ready for big fights. You've got Josh. Obviously, he's got Teofimo next. My goal's to bring boxing back to Hydro. You know, I remember Ricky Burns. I used to go to SSE arena, and I'd go to every fight, and that was the nights, and everybody was buzzing, and everybody would just be out in the bar, and they wouldn't come in till it was Ricky's fight. And that's the kind of guy I want to be. That guy that, we're not going in till Nathaniel's fight, so that's who we're here to see. You know, I want to be the big draw, bring the big crowds in. So yeah.
Let's be honest, Josh has maybe got 2 or 3 years left at the top of the game. Are you the man to replace him at the top of the mantle in Scottish boxing and make your name world scene?
I believe so. I've got big moves planned next, so I want to be the guy that's got Scotland on the map. I want to be the guy representing for Scotland. Who's doing it now? Who's doing it now for us? I'm the only one. And that's no offence to everybody else, but I just want it more. I want it more. I'm already in the position. You know what I mean? I'm serious about it. I'm serious about bringing big nights back to Scotland, and I just need the opportunity.
Well, I'll tell you one opportunity, just thinking out loud there, Mick Conlon at Parkhead, that was something special, wasn't it?
Aye, that would be a show. That would be a show. I'm sure my good mate Reagan would like to be on the undercard of that. You know, I'll get on well with Mick, actually. I've been down sparring with him back in the past. He's a nice guy, and
he's always said he wants to fight there one day.
Aye, well, I'm that fighter. What, you can't get better than fighting a Glasgow guy, Parkhead, stone throw away for the gym. You know, this is the area that I'm in and about.
Here, can't we?
Aye, 100%. So, mate, that's a big fight. That would be a big fight. Parkhead, right on the pitch.
Can you imagine that, the way you're doing a European night, all lit up, the ring in the middle, all the darkness, the two fighters walking to the ring?
Aye.
Mate, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about that.
Aye. I don't think I could top Grace, but you know what I mean. That's the only thing. That's the only thing. We'll get halfway through, and people will start thinking, "Who am I here for? The Scottish guy, the Irish guy?" No, it'd be a cracking night. Honestly, it'd be something. You know what? And my dad, big massive Celtic fan. My wee brother, my granddad's passed now, but that would be something. He'd be looking down, thinking, "Wow, you've done it." You know, amazing.
Why no, mate? You're the truth.
No, 100%.
Sky's the limit.
100%.
Come on, man. Get it together.
100%. That would be one for the ages, you know, definitely. And with the right backing, that could happen.
So you touched on earlier on that everything you do is for your family. Recently, you became a dad. How are you finding that?
Yeah, it's good. I love my girl to bits, Isabella. She is, honestly, she's something else, man. She's funny. Funny kid, and that's her coming up for 7 months, so she's starting to get a wee personality. She's sitting, she's eating, she's a wee grubber, a wee chubby. You'll be eating and she'll be like, wow, geez, some bits and bobs of food. So it's been sad because I went into camp expecting the Nick bullfight to happen in November. So she was born in October, and it was just, as soon as she was born, I was straight into camp. I never get the time to connect. I never get the time to thingy. So recently, you know, I've had set days where I'm trying to get out and do more and be involved more. But at the end of the day, I need to work. I need to pay the bills. I'm out morning to night. I'm training as well. So it's a shame. But all I think now is she doesn't know now. She doesn't know now. So if I suffer now and deal with that, and by the time she gets to 1.5, 2, and she starts being a bit more aware, you know, I'll already have made it. Dad's already have done this and done that, and I don't need to be in the gym as much. I don't need to be doing this and that. So,
Has that changed your life, Nate? Her being born?
Aye, changed it, made it a bit harder. No, it's great. It's amazing. The love I feel for my family is something like I've not felt before. I'm a very to myself person and cut about, and I've always just been training the boys in the gym, hung about. Fitness related, everything's been fitness related, health, you know, so I've never been the one to think anything else. And then now I'm excited to go home, see the kid, put her in a bath, spend some time with my missus, and she's been a solid rock for me as well. When I first started, she would get me up at 4:30 in the morning. She'd be on her bike, take me out, make me go runs, doing this, doing that, you know what I mean? So I'm very, very fortunate to have found the right woman that's backing me, and I love her to bits. And, you know, it makes me happy because I'm like, I'm in a good place, I'm in a good position. I've got a family that supports me, you know.
You're a big family guy, aren't you?
Mate, I'm not even. It's funny, it's like you talk to Reagan, you talk to somebody else, they are big family guys, like they are tight-knit as anything, like I'm not really. I'm like float about and do what I do, and it's funny, but it's just, it's different. Like I don't know how to explain it. It's a funny one because I've never been like, oh, I'm big on doing this, I'm big on doing that. That's the most important thing. I think it makes it easier when Anna can see what I'm doing and support what I'm doing, and it's a shame because it's all about me now. But she realises the bigger picture and what's going to happen in the future. Same as like my parents, my wee brother and sister. It's a shame, like I don't see them much because I'm not out now. I'm in my own house. And
how do you find that?
it's just one of these things. Like I've accepted that to get to where I want to go, this is the way it needs to be. Other people probably don't understand, and that's fine because you don't understand unless you're in it. But that's just the way it needs to be. If I want to be a high achieving, you know, sports person, if I want to be a high achieving athlete, boxer, a world champion, then
you need to be obsessed.
100%.
Dedication isn't enough. See, in any sport, you have to be so goddamn obsessed. Look at Conor McGregor. He used to wake up shadow boxing during the night. His girlfriend was like, what the hell are you doing?
Aye.
That's what you have to have inside. You need to be misunderstood. You need to be tapped slightly. Look at Josh Taylor.
Aye.
Josh Taylor's a wee bit tapped upstairs, but look what he's achieved.
That's it. You just need to live and breathe it. You need to live and breathe it. And I'm up 5:30 in the morning. I'm in here. I'm doing my stuff. Doing my own classes. Then I'll do my own training. Then I'll go and get a bit of lunch. Then I'm back. I'll do my own bits and bobs. Me and the boys will go a run. We'll do our strength conditioning, you know. Then I'm away. Then I'm back. There's nothing else for me right now. There's nothing else for me. My mum is asking me, why are you not going on a holiday? It's Easter. Why are you not taking Hannah and the kid away? Because I'm training. I need to train. I've only just hit where I want to get. There's so much more beyond that, you know.
Do you love this, Nate? I
love it and I hate it. It's a love-hate. I love fighting.
See when you go to that ring or you come to the gym, do you feel at home?
Absolutely. My gym is like a place of comfort and a place of, like, it's my saving grace. I love being in here. Don't get me wrong, it's a pain in the arse sometimes, but no, I love being in the gym. I'd be here all day. I'm trying new things out. I'm doing bits and bobs. I'm also secure in my future. you've seen it recently, great guy, Mark McEwen, sadly, failed his brain scan. I was meant to just fight Louis Lynn. His shoulder's all messed up. He's doing his own thing now. There's so many boxers nowadays that are failing at brain scans, are injured. There's no backup there. I'm out here securing my future in both ways. And I'm more switched on like that. If boxing's not happening, something else happening, I'm a million miles an hour.
Have you got the exit strategy put in place?
Not yet, but it's coming. Coming.
What is it then? When you hang them up? What's the plans that you have? What do you want to do?
I want to bring through fighters myself. I want to have this gym running and jumping, and I want it to be the busiest gym in Scotland. I want to do abroad training camps. I want to take my missus and my kid, and I want to let them travel the world. And with a set of skills that I've got, and the mindset that I've got, and the drive that I've got for boxing, I can put that into anything. So I want to make money and put it into property. I want to have passive income in every aspect of life, so I can go, right, we're off ski, we're going here, we're going there. The suffering that they had then when they didn't see me for weeks on end, or I was coming home moody, or I was shattered and I was going straight to bed and stuff, that's worth it, because now we get the ability to fly anywhere we want, we get the ability to do anything we want for however long we want. So that's the goal, that's the game plan.
Aim for the moon, mate, because if you miss, you're going to hit the stars.
Exactly.
But I think you're going to hit the moon. Definitely. So let's just run it back. You're brought up in Hamilton, is that correct?
Brought up in Hamilton. So I was born in Newcastle, actually. Stayed down south for a few years that I don't remember. Moved up to Hamilton, went to primary school in Hamilton, went to high school in Hamilton for about 3 years, and I moved to Glasgow. And I've been in Glasgow ever since. Moved to the West End, Bearsden. Posh boy, that's what they call me. No, it's funny, it's because my ring announcement's Nathaniel Collins from Bearsden, Scotland, and all my pals take the piss out of me and whatnot. And it's funny because when I went to Bearsden, we had nothing. My mum and dad wanted me to get out of this. Well, I'm not saying Hamilton's terrible, but it's not the best. So my mum and dad wanted me out and amongst people that I could surround myself with and try and bring my level up a wee bit in terms of education. They never thought I was going to go into boxing, so my education wanted to be better. They wanted me to push on, go to uni, get a degree, so on and so forth, just standard route. And it's mental because in boxing I've went and surpassed things that I was never meant to do. I was only meant to have a few fights, then I was only meant to fight in the Scottish, then I was only meant to fight in the Commonwealth Games, then I was maybe going to try pro. So, but we started in Hamilton.
How'd you go with your mum and dad?
Fine. They're like, my dad's my biggest supporter. He's phoning me every day. Anytime I get a wee bit of news, what's happening here, what's happening. He's a nervous wreck at the fights. You should see him. He's brilliant, but I love him to bits. And, everything he could give me in boxing as I was growing up. Lifts to the gym, picking me up late at night. He'd have worked all day. He'll be rushing back to get me to the gym. If he couldn't get me to the gym, he'd be there to pick me up. First set of gloves and sparring set I ever got was a big bright yellow set of Cleto Ray's. Cleto Ray, whole sparring kit. He worked X amount of weekends and nights to get me my first brilliant sparring kit. Then it was winnings. He was making sure I was getting the best of gear, taking me to any tournament, taking me anywhere I needed to go. So the guy's been there for the start and pushing it. And he always thought I was going to be great. You know what I mean? Even when I never. And he was always the harshest critic, because I think as every dad is, like, you could have done that better, you could have done better, you could have been doing this better. My mum, again, now, she loves it and she's writing about it. When I was back, first started and stuff, she always wanted me to chuck it and go to uni. And I did go to uni and I still done it, but she always wanted me to be...
How does that make you feel that your mum and dad are right behind you?
It's brilliant. You can't get to where I got to without support. But my mum and dad are realists as well. Like, they would never blow smoke up my arse. If I was bad or if I was doing, if I wasn't running, they'd be all over it. If I wasn't training as hard as I could, if I wasn't eating right, if I was kidding on, they weren't shy about saying it. Like, the thing that gave me my biggest wake-up call was my mum saying, like, if you can't beat people in Scotland, you can't beat people worldwide. And that was like a serious, well, you're right. Like, if I can't beat people in Scotland, I need to chuck it. So it's good. It's good to have them, and they're realists and not. I think they would have told me to chuck it if they didn't think I had it.
Your mum and dad have made a ton of sacrifices for you, haven't they? Just what you've told me just a second ago there. They've gave a lot up to make sure you've got everything you need to pursue your career, haven't they?
Aye, definitely, for sure. And I'm forever grateful for them if I can ever get to a position where, you know, my dad, for example, my dad's a lorry driver now. He hates it. He's renovated houses for all his days. Our own houses, got us into bigger houses, got us into better houses. My goal's to get my dad enough money to
retire,
get him a house, get him his own property business, get him going. You know, that's my goal. Like,
I love that shit, man. Love that. Aye.
And it's just been real. It's being grateful for what you got. I don't need anything. I don't need a fancy house. I don't need a fancy car. You know, I only go to the gym and back. I like to eat food. I need enough food money to eat nice. But other than that, if I can go and set my dad up a business, that'll be the paid years down the line. If I can go and set up different things going on, you know, my mum's got bits and bobs she likes to do. You know, if I can get that going, that's me repaying the support. So,
have they made you, your parents made you the man that you are today?
100%, 100%. My mum is very, very spiritual. My mum's very, very positive energy. What you give out to the world, you get back. She's all about vibrations and vibes. And people listen to her and think she's bonkers. She is bonkers, but she knows there's a bit of something else there. And if you project positivity will come back. If you give everything, then whatever's meant to come will come. It won't go past you. What's for you won't go by you. And she's always put that into my head. I used to wake up in the morning and go to school, and she used to watch a movie, and it was called Karina. And the nanny says to the wee girl in the morning, "My name's so-and-so, nobody in the world is better than me." And I used to wake up, my mum used to make me say it every morning, "My name's Nathaniel Collins, nobody in the world's better than me." Every morning, without fail, all through to high school. And something like that, positive affirmations, drilling that into yourself, I'm the best, I'm this, for that young age, even if it's something that I completely forgot about, you know, that's set me into the mindset I've got.
You've got that bulletproof mindset, haven't you?
Sure. From
your mum teaching you things when you were younger, haven't you?
If you don't believe you're the best, why are you doing it? If you don't believe you're going to go in there and beat anybody that's put in front of you, why are you doing it? Because you'll get hurt. This isn't the game to think, I could do it. I'm almost there. I could get there. This person's in my way. This person might get hold of me. Why believe that? Because if you believe that, you're going to get hurt in this game. I don't believe that. I genuinely don't believe I can be chinned. And that might be dangerous as well. But I don't believe somebody can hit me clean and put me to sleep. I just don't believe it.
I see you, as I said here, the skillful, artful, crafty boxer. Do you feel we're going to see more of ruthlessness, Daniel Collins, as you go through the gears? Like your last fight, only 50-60%. As you go through those gears, we see a more ruthless Nathaniel Collins. We get to world level. You're at world level just now, but I'm talking in world title fights. Do we see another side of you, Nathaniel, that you'll turn up on the night and be that guy and go, well, who the fuck is this guy? He's here. He's 100%. Arrived.
Like, I think the sad thing for me is I've not had a chance to be on TV properly yet. I think, see, when I get onto the TV shows, it's a different kettle of fish, because I'm going to announce myself to the world, to Britain, to anybody tuning in. They performances are going to be destructive. Now, it's like, okay, it doesn't really matter what happens here because only the people in this room are seeing it. Only not that's a bad way to say it. I always want to put people away. I always want to have the best performance. But the urgency for that isn't there. Whereas if you're going to TV, you need to announce yourself. And I'd say once I sniff anything, I'm already ruthless. So for sure, it's going to be a different kettle of fish.
So this sport comes with stress, pressure, a lot of anxiety. You need good people around about you, i.e. your mum, your dad, Joe Ham. Let's talk about Anna, your partner. Does she keep you right through those tough times when the chips aren't going well, when it's hard and it's difficult? Does she keep you right and get you in that positive mindset?
Yeah, absolutely. She is one in a million, and I knew it for the moment we first got together. Very understanding. When I first went into training camps, like I said, she would get up at 4:30. I'd be snoozing. She would get up at 4:30 and she'd wake me up, make me get up. She used to go to the grip house. She loves MMA. She loves stuff like that. So she's already had that combat sport background of, like, I love that. Her big brother Chris, again, same kind of thing. Thailand camps, Brazil. So she's always been about, like, fighting sports, but never boxing. When we first got together, it was a whole new world, but she took to it very quickly, and the eating, the prepping meals, stuff like that. I mean, it's different now. We've got the baby. She's all looking after the baby, making sure everything's right for the baby. I'll get home. We've got an agreement. I'll cook the dinners. I'll do the shopping. But anything else I need, washing, done. Washing, sorted. Room clean, house clean. Nice, good energy, good mindset, and everything's going a certain way. And she's like, she doesn't ever want to see me get knocked out. That's just plain and simple. So she says, anything I can do, anything I can ever do to help you and make your life easier, I'll do it. Because I don't ever want to see you get to a high level and get wiped out because it's something that could have been done in the house or done, through the weeks of camp. So
she your best mate?
Aye, 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. We have such a good laugh. We get the same humour, everything. Honestly, she's won a million.
She fully supports you, doesn't she?
Fully supports me at every fight. It was hard for her there. That was the first fight. That was the first time the baby had staying over a night away without us. So it was hard for her there to go, right, this is about Nathaniel. I need to be there for Nathaniel. The baby stayed with her mum, and it was like a massive thing for her because that's her person, that's her wee person, that's somebody that she. So I think if I fought any sooner, she wouldn't have came.
How'd you go with her folks? All right, aye.
Brilliant, brand new. Again, they're into health and fitness, they're into stuff. Her dad loves boxing, our mum and her stepdad, people I've always got on with for the start, and I think they don't know what level I'm at, and I think it's hard for them looking out because that's their daughter. So them looking in thinking, this guy's broke. This guy's making no money. This guy can't put any money into the bills. This guy can't put any money into the house. Anna's doing everything, blah, 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 blah. I think it's hard for them to see where I'm going.
How does that make you feel?
I know Anna knows. So I'm chilled. I'm a very nice guy. I'm a very humble person. So, and I've got no pretenses. If I was looking at somebody with my daughter and they couldn't help and they couldn't provide, or, all they see is me coming into the house after some training and going to sleep, and Anna doing this and Anna doing that. So if you were looking, you'd think, this guy's lazy, this guy's coming in, going to sleep, sleeping and not doing stuff in the house or blah, blah, blah. I don't think they realise the level of training or the level of something, which is fine, but now this British title's come about and they kind of know the level I'm going to. I think it's easier to understand if I was just saying, no, it will come, but I was fighting journeymen, or I was playing with it. It's different if you're playing with it, if you're out drinking, if you're out doing whatever you're up to, if you're eating crap, if you're doing this, if you're doing that. I think they see I live my life clean, so it's easier to accept.
Discipline, mate.
But that's just what I was talking earlier. People from the outside looking in probably don't know. Unless you're about boxing, you don't know the levels that somebody can go to. So for them, it's just maybe a hobby, maybe just a normal sport, maybe it's just something you're doing, but there's no money in it. So it's good to get to this level now and say to them, well,
I'm the man.
I'm not just sleeping about now. I'm not just doing this and that now. Yeah. No, Anna's good. She explains to them, and I think they've got a better understanding now. And we're still only 2.5, nearly 3 years together, so it is fresh for them. And there wasn't a lot of fights just there. So.
And you know what I like, mate, right? You touched on there about she helps you with your diet and things like that. See, if your health isn't right, you'll never perform, and that's in all walks of life. Your health has to be bang on, eating the right food, training at the right time, being dedicated, giving it your all, and you need that in your life, especially in this game. Nah,
100%. Yeah, but you eat health as well. There's so many quotes you could come in and say, and I noticed it more this time last time I got a nutritionist, this time I got a nutritionist, and then a day or two later after the fight, I ate a bit of crap. I came in and trained right away on the Monday because I was I'd only done 7 rounds, so I was I've only done 7 rounds, I'm not feeling that bad. I'll jump in on Monday, I'll do my training, and I'd ate McDonald's, KFC, chips, cheese and doner,
tastes great.
And then I could, 100%, anything I could get my hands on, I was eating it. So when I came in on the Monday and I tried to train, I was well, I feel absolutely terrible. And it just shows you, like, and then as soon as I get home, she's like, I've ordered HelloFresh, we're doing this, you're getting your life back on track. So it's just all different now.
Definitely. But what brought you to boxing?
My big cousin, Ryan Collins, he boxed. I went and seen him fighting in the Youth British. He won it. I watched him a few times after that. I thought, I'll get into it. I was a wee fat kid. I liked playing computer games. I liked just running about and going to the park and stuff. So I never ever had a sport. And I just happened to like boxing when I went. It was great. I enjoyed it. It was just something that I took to.
Now you're saying you're the wee fat kid there playing computer games. Do you feel you lacked a bit of discipline back then, Nate? You had no drive?
I was only 14. I was only 13, 14. So I was never like, it wasn't something I ever thought about. Like I wasn't into anything. Just not that I lacked discipline. I just wasn't into anything. I never had any like, you know what I mean? I probably would have had discipline if somebody told me I could come home and play the PlayStation every night to all hours. You know what I mean? It was just I never had anything, and that was what I got into.
Seeing you came to boxing, when did you realise, what moment you said, you know what, I can make a career out of this, I can do something here? What was the turning point?
Well, I took a year or something off boxing, and when I came back, it was like, I need to do it. I need to make something of it, or I'm going to chuck it. So I won the Scottish, went to Commonwealth Games, travelled the world there. That was the turning point of, no, you are actually decent and you actually do have that mindset, because I came back from 87, 88 kilo to 60 kilo, was unranked in the Scottish. I went and beat all the ranked boys, seeded number 1, seeded number 3, you know. Went to the finals, went away, I was beating Ukraine, Russia, Poland, you know, I was beating great boxing countries. So then I knew, oh no, I actually have something here.
Were they good times, Nate? You doing that?
Amazing. The times like that I'll never get back. Sometimes I wish to myself, you know, I was still an amateur. I see the boys all doing their thing, guys that I came through with, and I'm like, they're having a great time. And it is a great time because you're training hard, you're away with your mates, you're just living out of your room, playing cards, living a life, chilling, everybody's having good banter, and it's a different world. You're not in the real world. There's no, at that time I'm not living in my own house, I'm living with my mum and dad, I've got no bills, got nothing to worry about, I'm absolutely chilling. Nothing to care about, nothing to worry about. I'm seeing loads of places, so it was just amazing.
Any good stories you can tell us? Come on, Nate, come on.
Not that I can think off the top of my head.
Who'd you room with then?
I used to room with Akil. Akil Ahmed. I roomed with Reese McFadden. Me and Akil and Reese, we roomed at the Commonwealth Games at the first training camp. I suppose we got there first day, and within 2 hours we'd get everybody banned for every activity. So we turned up, dropped our bags, and I was like, there was a big inflatable thing in the middle of the lake, and I was like, right, let's go. Gathered up all the boys, we went over, running riot, like slide tackling each other. Nobody's thinking, oh, you could break somebody's legs here, you could break somebody's back. You're fighting in the Commonwealth Games, so we're all like booting each other off this big inflatable thing, flinging each other, drowning each other and that. We get off, some Scotland people start shouting us off it. It wasn't like Mike and Craig, it was just actual Team Scotland. 30 minutes later, like, go and get dressed. 30 minutes later, a full Team Scotland meeting had been called, and we'd only been on the like resort for an hour or something, and they were like, you're not allowed to go on the inflatables, you're not allowed to do this, you're not allowed to do that. Next day we all get called in again. They were all flying through the forest in segways and stuff, and there's people are trying to like high five kangaroos and all that. It was mental. It was fun. It was good, great times.
Was this all recent kind of encouraged all this kind of bad behaviour?
Half and half. I was more trying to get out and do activities. Me and Reese, we always wanted to do something a wee bit extra. Same in like, it was just like, Reese always led me astray because he had his place secured. He was Glasgow bronze medalist, Commonwealth Games got bronze medalist, and Gold Coast as well. So
great fighter. He
had his place secured at everything, whereas I was just on the team. So he was like, Mum, we'll do this, Mum, we'll do that, and I was just easily influenced, and I was like, alright, let's go and do it, blah blah blah. So
you look back in the times and say, you know what, they were great times, man. Good memories made.
Amazing times. I wouldn't trade times like that for anything, you know. I met friends for life there. People, my my brother-in-law Chris, he's away down to Brigton now, just down the end of the road. He's doing his boxing level 1, and he's texted me there, I've got a guy here that says he's your boy for a long time, Stephen Newns. And I'm like, he's one of my brothers, you know. And it's like, don't need to talk to them every day, don't need to talk to Reece and Akil, but you talk to them, you need something. They're the guys you're talking to them, and you're like, I went through...
Friends for life.
Went through a lot with him, and they're always first on at you saying, well done in your title, well done in this, well done in that, you'll smash this guy to bits, blah, blah, blah. So
there's nothing better getting encouragement like that. See, the real ones come and say, you know what, Nate, you're doing well, mate, keep going, you've got to go to the top. And having that's it's massive, huh?
100%. And it's like, those are real guys in boxing. Those are guys that experience a lot in boxing, that know the drill and know what I'm about. So
you're under the guidance of Joe Ham. How good's Joe?
Phenomenal. Best coach in Scotland, hands down, in my opinion. He's very old school techniques. We train hard, we train all the time, we spar a lot, we spar hard. Nothing wrong with that, I love sparring. It's probably my favourite bit of training. Do you feel good sparring's a good education for a fighter? 100%. You can't replicate fighting any better than getting in and sparring. Joe knows his stuff. He's very clever. He knows how to read a fight. Loads of people question like, how you been with Joe this long? Why you been with Joe this long? Obviously Joe's his own person. He's got his own personality, and from the outside looking in, a lot of people don't like Joe, and that's perfectly fine for them. And I think even back through it in the amateurs, like, they always thought we had, our club, Hayfield, had a certain arrogance about them. They didn't. We knew we were good, but we weren't looking down on people. We just came and we didn't care what people thought, and it was like, we're coming and going to work. It's the same now. Joe doesn't care what anybody thinks. His best interest is me, the boys, how we get on, how we're fighting, how we're sparring. And he doesn't care what anybody thinks, and he doesn't care if people think he should be doing things another way, and that's fine. And he's got my back 100%, and he's got all the boys' back 100%. So I have a loyalty to Joe. We've been nearly 10 years together in this game, and I've got to where I am. And he's never put one foot out of line in terms of telling me instructions that were wrong, telling me instructions that were bad. He's never given me a bit of advice that, in boxing terms, that has made me think otherwise, that I shouldn't be with Joe. So, and that will always continue that way, because now we've got a relationship in the ring. He knows how I'm boxing. He knows how I'm feeling. He doesn't try to change me. He'll fine-tune me, and that's it. And I know, looking for the outside in, he knows how to read a fight. Genuinely, probably one of the best people I've ever met at reading a fight.
You learnt a lot from Joe then?
100%. Like, when I first went to Joe, pardon my friends, but Joe's got a very fuck you attitude. It's like, you're either with us or against us, and he would prefer you're against us because he wants to go through you. And I never had that attitude. When I came, I was all nice and nice. Don't want to hurt you in sparring. Don't want to hurt you in a fight. Like, I just want to score my points and win the fight. Now I'm like, I'm going through you. I'm going through you no matter what. I don't care what anybody thinks. I don't care about anybody's opinion. It's made me like a bit of a harder person. Of course, I'm still myself. I'm still genuine. I'm still that guy, but with a bit of extra something on me as well, you know, like a bit of extra dog in me that I never had before. So,
what's the best piece of advice Joe's gave you? Whether that being going to a fight, in training, something that will stick with you forever? It's hard. He just says, you're not here to be pals. You're not here to be pals with people. You're not here to make friends in this game. It's an individual sport. And he's 100% right, because I can spar with somebody tomorrow and I could end up fighting them. I can spar with some tomorrow, they'll leave the gym and say, I done this and I done that to him. Nobody in this game's your friend, and no matter how much people pretend they want to like you, know you, whatever, there can come a time when you're going to come to head or whatever. So the people in your team are the people in your team, and that's how we play, very close to, play our hands close to our chest. So there's massive respect in this gym. The brotherhood is very, very a strong bond. Regan Glacken, Josh Campbell, Elliot O'Donnell, yourself, young Joe Ham.
Aye.
That's a tight unit, mate, isn't it?
Brilliant, mate. And Davy Kelly's just came back to us after a bit of a long break. So, again, another boy that, phenomenal, not known about, really hard worker, everything, every round he spars, every round on the bag, he's like, it's as if it's his last round, you know. He's a great fighter. Reagan trains harder than anybody I know.
Big
I
fight
wish
coming up as well.
Massive fight coming up. A fight that it's funny, like if you look back, it's like almost our stable's coming full circle. You look back at me and I had the Monty fight and people thought, oh, that's a tricky fight for Nathaniel. He's only 5-0, Monty's 10-0 or whatever and blah, blah, blah. More experienced. And I knew, and we knew, I'm going right through Monty. No question about it. And I know that about Reagan. Reagan's going right through Ahmed. And it is what it is. And it's the same thing. It's our team v theirs, and it's my team v yours, and we're a family in here, and that's how it is. And I know how hard that boy trains, and I know what he does, and I know how he's came on leaps and bounds. So I don't see Ahmed winning a round, and I see him getting took out. Josh Campbell progressing. Technically, he's one of the best boxers in the gym. Sound so fast, so quick, lovely southpaw style. He'll develop into a nice pro, same as Elliot. Elliot, tough guy, tough as nails. He's a guy with a sledgehammer and he'd just look at you like, was that it? So everybody's got their own thing and we're all coming through. And this British fight and British and Commonwealth lets these boys see what you can achieve. It's not just like, you've got other people in other gyms saying, you can do this, you could do that, you could do that. These guys are seeing it happen right in front of them. If you work hard enough and they see how I train, I'm training exactly like them. Obviously, we all do our own bit outside extra, but I'm training as hard as them, they're training as hard as me, so you keep it going, you end up there.
Who's the joker in the gym? Who's the wind-up merchant? There's always one.
It's me. Sadly, it's me. Much to everybody else's hatred. Nah, I like taking the piss out of people. That's my part. I like a wee bit of slagging. We're all give each other the type, but
need that, but
nobody wants to come for me because I'll get you.
Do you like the wind-up, sorry?
Aye, I do. It's funny, like, yeah, it's good to wind them up. Everybody can take it, but it's good to wind them up.
That's them. Give it, you need to take it.
Aye,
That's the rules, isn't it? So you turned pro in 2018. Was that the right time for you to go pro?
I'd done everything as an amateur that I could have done. I felt the GB team was very biased with the bringing on of Scottish boys. A lot's changed now. There's a good few Scottish boys on it, but at that time, can't even remember. It was only John Docherty that was on it. John and Scott Forrest.
Why is that? But you hear this all the time.
I don't know. No, I actually don't know. And I'm not. Maybe some of the boys weren't good enough, but you had Akil who was winning like 13 gold medals out of 14 tournaments and stuff. So, but at that time for me, I wasn't going to go any further than the Commonwealth Games, and I knew it myself and I accepted it. So it was time to go pro. Joe, Stuart, they were already pro with Joe, so it wasn't like a hard transition. I was watching them do their thing. So
how did you find the difference from amateur to pro? Did you adapt straight away?
Yeah, I had quite a pro style in the amateurs anyway, so it was not major. I started sitting down on my punches a bit more, started realising you can go out and take your time and then hurt people, and nothing changed for me. In the amateurs, I was all very like, I like to take it downstairs to the body, I like to switch up to the head. There was nothing that changed massively for me, and I don't know if it was just because we trained with Joe Junior and Stuart Hood. They went pro after Glasgow, so we did 4 or 5 years of training like pros anyway. So
did you always feel your your amateur style was tailor made for the pro game?
Now that I look back at it, it probably was, but I never thought about it at the time because I was just doing me, just doing what I was doing. So, but probably I went through loads of styles in the amateurs, from pressure fighting to back foot boxing to counter punching. So, I think me changing up my style every now and again made me like a well-rounded fighter, because I went from like close guard, hunting people down, to alright, just pinging people, and there was a difference in what I wanted to do and who I wanted to be. And when I started figuring it all out and put it together, that made me a well-rounded pro. So
we've got some massive fights coming up, mate. One I want to talk to you about is Josh Taylor versus Teofimo Lopez. It's going down at the Garden. Both men were Ring and Lineal magazine champions. T at 135, Josh at 140. This is going to be a cracker.
Brilliant fight. I'm a big Josh fan. I like how fast he progressed to world titles. I've always said like I want to follow that same path. I'm 12-0. I want to be 15-0 and winning my first world title, same as him. So he's like a big inspiration for me. And he's a phenomenal fighter. and he's getting a lot of stick now because of Jack Carroll stuff, and that is what it is. And I'm not here to sit and defend or criticise him because only him himself knows what's what. However, Teofimo, I thought he lost his last fight to Sandor Morton. I thought he was lucky in the Lomachenko fight, and I thought that went to his head a bit, and he never kept humble how he should, and he never thought, like, I've made it here and then I can run through and do what I'm doing. But it's a good fight. I think Josh might be a bit too much for him.
How does Josh beat him?
I think he's better in every department, really. Even in strength, Teofimo's a strong guy, strong boxer, but he's nothing special. I thought Kambosos ruined him a bit, and I don't really rate Kambosos, and I've been in with Kambosos, I don't think, and I was a featherweight, he was a lightweight, you know what I mean? So, for me, Kambosos nothing special, and he put a beat down on him and just took it to him, so that wee bit of extra dog, and Teofimo starts thinking, if Teofimo doesn't start getting his way with you, you can put it on him, and then I think Josh has got that capability to just go, and he's nasty. He's got a nasty streak to him. So I think when he gets in there and it starts getting nasty, it'll be Teofimo that starts thinking,
Josh Taylor, mid to long range, is one of the best to do it. He's incredible. He's got it all. I believe this could be the performance of his career because it's 16 months, I think, out the ring. He needs as crazy as it seems, he needs a massive performance.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
How does Josh Taylor approach this fight then?
I think it's going to be one of the ones where it will start getting tough, and I think Josh will prevail because he's just got that extra bit of something in him. He's got that bit of spite. He's got something nasty in him, whereas I think Teofimo's been looking for excuses recently. My mental health or this or that. And that's not me slating that. It's a real problem, but he's got a lot going on. His dad's on his case. His dad's in his back. He can't be his own person, so I think it's a humongous amount of pressure for him. And
do you think Josh Taylor will have the mental edge going in there? Because at the press conference, we'll be getting to Teo, we'll be getting to his dad, we'll try to rattle his cage, we're trying to carpet him off so that he's not the best Teo when he's in there, and Josh is very good at that. He likes to get under people's skin.
Definitely. I think the Americans react a different way to it as well. So I think when he tried that with Carroll didn't really care. Carroll was sound, and there was that bit of I keep doing what you're doing, mate. I'm going to go in and do what I'm doing. Whereas I think Teofimo will bite, his dad will bite. There'll be a lot of funny stuff happening in the build-up. So
I think some of the Americans don't know how to act. But you see these mad Scotsmen, they're kind of like, whoa, who are these people? Do you know what I mean? They act crazy, but I think it will play into Josh's hands. Teo not with 100% mentally. If he goes to that ring, not fully switched on.
100%. I agree.
So give me a prediction for that fight. How does it go?
I think Josh Taylor by late stoppage.
I agree with you. Well, champ, that's us for the day. Anything you'd like to add before we close the show?
Just a big thank you to everyone that has looked over me over the last year. My sponsors on my t-shirt here. I'm going to do a wee stand up, get them in. I would rhyme them all off. Ian P. Brick Lane Services, Barhead Carpet and Flooring, Knockout Meals, Empire Pro Tape. They've been helping me out with my gloves and stuff. Phoenix Utilities. These guys have really been a saving grace for me. Hot Pod Yoga, Enhanced Sport Performance, Live Mechanical, and Thomas and Zacchino Real Estate. It's been hard for me in the game to try and get sponsors, and it's hard in Scotland in general, but I think it's been really hard for me because I'm unknown and I'm this guy that's just working away and grinding away and bringing myself onto the scene now. So these people have had belief in me for the past year or over a year in some of their cases, and they've stuck by me when fights weren't happening and things weren't happening. So I'm forever grateful for everyone that's helped me out, and I'm having a lot more interest now, and it's great because it's always been something I struggled with. So big thank you.
You're making big moves, and I wish you all the best in the future. Happiness, health, success, and go capture those world titles, mate. God bless.
Thank you. Brilliant.
Top man. Well done.